So, my name is Itumele Sokhone. I'm the Stakeholder Relations Coordinator from Sanral, that is responsible for this province, which is Northwest Province, as well as Gauteng Province. We are here to implement what we call taking Sanral to the people. I'll talk to that when we do the purpose of why we are here. But I would want to give it to the Honorable MMC to open the session and welcome all of us. Colleagues had indicated to me that we are having 2 MMCs in the municipality. I'll request the MMC that is next to me to welcome all of us and open the session so that we can start. Thank you very much.
No, ke a leboganda te segone. Dumelang bagaetsho. Bo sele a kere. Ke tlo go bua serolong ka gore nna ke morolo. La se utlwa kere. All right. A ke tse tšhono e go leboga Sanral e teletsweng pele ke Ntate Itumeleng Segone. Ke nna Councillor Gerald Modise, ke na MMC wa infrastructure mo masepaleng wa JB Max. Mme ga jana ke emetse majoro mogolo yo farafarilweng ke kopano o ile go Rustenburg ba nkopare ke tlo go memela fa mme la ne ke tshwantse ke nna be ke le teng fa ke tse tšhono go amogela barulaganyi ba tiro ye ke amogele MMC Mchali ora ke re di MMC tsotlhe tse di leng teng se tla ka re ke bone ba babedi hela ba ba ditse go morago le makhanselara o tla leng teng ke a lemogele le lona le leng ba tsa karolo ba botlhokwa thata e leng di SMMEs le baagi ba mo ikageng ka ntlha gore tau e senang seboka isiwa ke none e tlhotsa re lebogela matsapa a lona gore re ka nako e le be le tlile le tlogetse tsotlhe tse di tshwanetse di dire gore le tlo go itsela ka tsebe gore ka o sane se ka nna gore le kry-a secondary information le kry-a mo ntlheng mo batho ba tshwereng dikgang sentle e leng ba Sanral mme ke tsa tšhono e gape gore ke kopa ke etsa boikuelo wa gore a re nne le dipuisano tse di edileng re se ka ra isa maikutlo go godimo ka ntlha gore re nagana gore information e re tlo e kry-ang ke yone e botlhokwa e tla re thusang gore kgone go tlhaloganya gore a yang ko pele morago ga tsotlhe tse di diragalang ke a leboga Ralisi.
Okay, ke a leboga MMC. Maybe let's do a short round of introductions because from Sanral I'm not alone. I'm with colleagues. I'm with a number of project management teams. I think MMC had also indicated that there are 2 additional MMCs here from the municipality. Maybe let me start with colleagues from Sanral and request them to introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Taban Rachomose. He's the RRM project manager here within the municipality.
Taban Rachomose, project manager Sanral, RRM Potchefstroom.
Tovela, my name is Letu Dlanjwa. I'm the project manager on the N14.
Morning, Naila Mia, project manager from Sanral as well. I will tell you which projects I will be working on.
All right. No, thank you very much, colleagues. Maybe in terms of explaining the purpose of the meeting, maybe let me start to say last week. Sorry, MMC.
MMC Mchali ile kagante. Among Sanral MMC Mchali unta ditimo moraga ga go khotsi. Ke MMC wa Sports Arts and Culture. Can you please stand up, MMC Davis? Ki ene MMC wa LED. re na le councillor Rabodiba Maloganye ke bone moruti o kae kante le ntate Ramalisa and other councillors ke bo mama Koni le ne o tswile ke a leboga.
Okay, no, thank you very much, MMC. You're welcomed, MMC and the councillors that are here. I was saying maybe before we start with the purpose of the meeting, I should indicate that last week we had a short meeting with the municipality and we did a number of presentations in terms of the work that we do here at Sanral. And then from our conversations with the municipality, there was an agreement that we ought to come and take all this information to SMMEs, to the stakeholders in the main within the municipality, civil society, and members of the community. That is why today we're having what we call taking Sanral to the people. Taking Sanral to the people has to do with what we have set it ourselves as Sanral in respect of our pillars. That we ought to consult stakeholders about the work that we're doing in municipalities. Because that consultation will empower stakeholders, will empower members of the community, will present opportunities that are available that has to do with the road network that we are managing as Sanral. So there are a number of roads that are managed by Sanral within the municipality. I think maybe a number of you may know that there's N12, there's N14, there's R54, R30, R501, etc. So we're going to talk about this project. When we have our meeting last week with the municipality, project management teams had indicated that in about 5 months and a couple of weeks, some of the projects here in the municipality, the contractors will be appointed. SMME's packages will be affirmed and outlined. A number of laborers then, in terms of their recruitment, will be studying. So in a short period of time, those things will be happening, 5 months and a couple of weeks or so. So that is why we are here to empower members of the community, to empower SMMEs in terms of the work that we are doing, to present opportunities that will be coming very soon in the municipality. Thank you very much. I would appreciate you. I appreciate you honoring this session as SMMEs. Without wasting any time, I don't know as to whether we're okay. No questions. We can continue for our program. I don't see it projected here, but we are starting with presentations. If there's any questions, if there's any request for clarity, feel free to raise your hand so that we can assist each other in that regard. Are we fine for now so far? Can we continue with our program? Can we continue with the presentations? Can we continue to relay the message that we have brought to you? Thank you very much. I will start with Ms. Naila Meyer to give a presentation regarding the work that Sanral is doing here in the municipality. Thank you very much.
Sorry, it's a bit fancy for me. Okay. I will be doing a few projects in this municipality. I'm going to talk through it now. My presentation is very short, but it will give you the information you need, and if you have any other questions, you can let me know. Okay, so I'll be working on the N12-160, which comes from Clarkstown town to Potchefstroom town. So it does go through 2 municipalities. It is a resurfacing project, which means we will only be working from blacktop to blacktop. We'll be resurfacing that road, and that's where our work ends. Then it's the N12-170, so we'll start in town at kilometer 4. You know where the total garage is when you're leaving Potchefstroom town, going towards Gauteng. We'll start at that intersection, and then we go all the way to where our where we end our jurisdiction And that's also a resurfacing project. So it's just blacktop to blacktop. We're going to fix up wherever there are potholes and failures, and then we're going to resurface it so that it's a smooth road again. And then we have the R30 section 8, which is in this municipality as well. So this one goes from kilometer 36 to Ventersdorp town. A small part first lies in city of Matlosana, but it's very small. The rest of it is in this municipality. This is an improvement project, so we're going to be widening the road. I know it does flood at some points as well. We have heard it from RRM, so we're going to be lifting the road, widening the road, putting in culverts, fixing up the bridges. It's quite a big project. So that's the other project that I have. So I have 3 projects in this municipality. The first one, which is the N12160, the one from Klerksdorp to Potchefstroom. The consulting engineers is IX Engineers. They're not here with us today. They're currently in design stage. The N12170, which is the one that starts in Potchefstroom town, is Linked Consulting. They are also not here with us, but they're also in design stage. And then the R30 section 8 is also in design stage, and that's in Dondana Consulting. This is just a little bit of information on where it is and how much the estimated budget is and when we intend on starting. But the N12160 has a budget of about 110 million. It will be about 18 months of construction. We will start around September 2025, so they're quite far into the design stage already. And like I said, it does go through 2 municipalities. N12170, again, it's about 200 million, maybe a bit more. It's a 15-month construction. They will be starting around August 2025, also quite far in the design stage already. And like I said, does go through 2 municipalities as well. And then the R30 section 8, it's 700 million. It's quite a big project. Like I said, we're widening and everything with that road, so it's a lot more. It will be a longer construction phase, also about 30 months. And then that we're starting around January 2026. Also, small bit in city of Matlosana, but majority of it does lie here. Type of work that we will expect, obviously it is different and we're still in design, so I can't specify exactly what will be for the laborers and the local subcontractors, etc. But traffic accommodation, the road markings, road signs, if there is culverts, we'll get the culverts to be done, cleaning out road markings, all of that will be done by subcontractors. But again, like when we get closer to the time, when we go out on construction and whatever, then we'll be able to give more information with regards to it. Generally, on all our contracts, this is the minimum subcontracting. So it will be about 30% of the final contract value will go to SMMEs, and then local labor must be a minimum of 6%. This does get further broken down into disabled, women, youth, military veterans, etc., where there's specific targets for it. But like I said, we're still in the design stage, so we haven't got into detail with regards to that. And then I have gone through that. So that's my presentation. If there is any questions, please let me know, and then I can give you an answer to it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Naila. What is going to happen is that after each and every presentation, we are going to take a question and answer session. Naila's here. If we're having any questions, any requests for clarity, you can ask her. Maybe also to mention that I forgot to mention that we are having colleagues from CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board, as well, that are here that are going to do a presentation. Any questions for Naila? I see only one hand. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mine is not a question necessarily as such, but just to hear from you, madam. You've been going a bit faster. It was quick, hard to capture everything. So is there anything that was prepared in terms of paper that you might have handy with us?
No, not right now. So when we do get closer, and I'm sure Itumeleng will tell you, when we do go out on construction tender and we get closer to going into construction where more subcontractors and laborers are involved, we will have another session where we will tell you exactly what the targets are, how it will be split up, where's the road, when we'll be closing the tenders. So we'll go into a lot more detail. Right now it's all estimates, so we don't don't have the exact amounts and the exact start date, etc. Okay.
Okay, no, thank you, Naila. Any other questions? Any request for clarity? Can we go to the next presentation? Okay. No, thank you very much. I'll request Mr. Letu to do his presentations.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. Once again, my name is Letu Lanjwa. Unfortunately, I'll be presenting on quite a number of projects. Two are mine, two are for a colleague who's not here. I'll be able to answer more on my projects than the other one of my colleagues, I hope. So my presentation is on the N14, section 12 and section 13, and the R30, section 9, and then R54. I'm going to be starting with the N14. Breaking my back. So this two projects, there are two projects. You know, one is on section 12, which starts from Colini to Ventersdorp, and the other one starts from Ventersdorp to the border of Gauteng. Yeah, no, this is just an outline of my presentation. You know, I'm going to be talking to the project team, background, scope of works and the existing structures and the proposed solutions and project stages and the works done by the SMMEs. Okay, so this, I'm going to elaborate more on where it starts and ends, but it's just Sanral is the client, and we've got SMEC SA, that is the design consultant, and the targeted sub-consultant is Siricon. We're still in a design stage. Unfortunately, we are not at construction yet. We are just here to inform you of the opportunities that are coming. So the handover was quite a while ago, but these design processes, they take a bit of time, so that by the time we go to construction, we've sort of taken care of everything. This section 12, I did indicate earlier, starts from Colini and ends at, it's mostly in JB Marks and Titsobotle. You know, it is on the N14, a little bit away from here. And obviously, it's a single lane. Oh, sorry, I keep on pressing the wrong button. Yeah, so the section 13 starts from Ventersdorp to the Gauteng province. Is a similar scope. The section 12 is around 1.1 billion rand. The section 12 is around 1.4 billion. So this is just an outline of where the road is running. I'm sure you guys are quite familiar with this, with the area. The start is Colini and the end is the Gauteng border. Obviously going along the N14 via Ventersdorp. So this is just from our preliminary, investigation. These are the wards that have been identified. They might have changed. We will, get more clarity as the project comes towards the construction stage. But I think this is more your interest area. So, obviously we've got a couple of wards. I think that was quite important for us to come and maybe get clarity also from the municipality. Those kind of engagements are still going to continue. Scope of works similar to my colleagues. It's your normal upgrade design project where we are looking at access management. We are looking at obviously improving the road. We've identified material sources. We've already started engaging with the municipality on the possible material sources. And then obviously as part of the design process, we've identified affected areas. That's why sometimes these projects take a little bit of time, to get to construction. Yeah, look, as you guys are quite aware, these drawings, engineers, they like to put these things, but it's just basically, illustrating the fact that the road is narrow. We are going to be widening it, and these are just the type of interventions that we're going to have. I mean, obviously, I don't think I'm preaching to the converted. I mean, you guys are driving these roads, they're quite bad at the moment. We are really trying to get, to a point where we are able to upgrade. It's just some of the structures that have been identified on Section 12. Big culverts, these are some of the investigations that we need to do, to look so that we can be able to get some intervention. Obviously, this is a continuation of Section 13. Some structures, so proposed solutions, obviously, we've highlighted on that. So these are, this is probably more interesting to you in terms of where we are at in terms of the design. We are almost there because we are at detailed design now, so we are still left with those, with the next steps, but they do take a little bit shorter than the previous section. So we are hoping that at least with construction, we can start around next year, August. So this is some of the work. I mean, it can, change, but this is some of the work that we've identified now for SMMEs, which is more interesting, of particular interest, I suppose, to the crowd here. We've identified that, the construction of gabions that can be done by locals, patching, repairing edge breaks, erecting of guardrails, landscaping, fencing, road signs, road marking, finishing. It's quite a number of packages that we are hoping that the local SMMEs can benefit on. This is a split percentage, obviously 6% for the laborers for now. I think in some RRM it's 8%, and then the 30%. I mean, the 30%, they're a little bit, when you look at them, if you're looking at a 1 billion rand project, it is quite a sizable amount. So we are hoping that we will, be bringing quite a lot of money to the municipality. Thank you. I'm not sure, are you going to, can I just maybe ask that we maybe ask questions on the N14s first before I move on to the next presentations? We do talk fast a bit, we are also nervous. Okay, no, thank you.
MMC is asserting that most of them would be towards Ventersdorp. And the proposal is that perhaps during the month of October, we ought to do the same thing that side as well. Mr. Dlanchu, you can continue.
Yeah, I did ask, are they not too far away from here? I was told I'm also not the boss. He instructed me to come here, so. Okay, well, I'm obviously not Tumelo. I am presenting on behalf of my colleague. This project is on the R30, Section 9, more towards the Ventersdorp side. This is just an outline of the contents. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of where it is in Ventersdorp. It's about 40 km. Outside of Ventersdorp, this is just the project team. Obviously, Sanral and Romish is the consulting engineers. Project details, all of these projects, I mean, they are in a similar stage. We are all at now, detailed design, we're almost there. We're hoping to flood, the province with a lot of projects. This is just some of the interventions that we are making in Ventersdorp. And obviously, the intervention is quite similar in terms of these roads are all quite narrow and quite old. We are hoping to widen them. Just some of the typical interventions that we make on some of the intersections that are unsafe. We are, sort of designing these roads at quite higher speeds because we mostly deal with mobility roads, but this is just an outline on some of the challenges that we do face. In trying to make, as much as we are trying to design the roads, we also want to make them safe. So some access management there. We have to talk to a lot of landowners that are affected in trying to, bring some of the solutions. Yeah, this is another, I think the land acquisition is one of the, processes that does delay us a bit, but we are handling that. So obviously, I think of particular interest for you guys, there is targeted laborers. Obviously it's a whole process of coming here and identify and having PLOs that can identify laborers and so forth. This is just an outline of the targeted labor. I mean, my colleague has already alluded on the fact that in terms of detail, we're gonna numbers and figures. We're gonna, as we get closer to the construction stage, we're gonna be also presenting on that. Some of the work that is also identified quite similar because these projects are road construction projects. It's a similar story. We've identified polo pits, some special development plans. We're dealing, there are some services in some of them, some of the roads, so we need to deal with all of that and so forth. So that's the end of the R30. Any questions? Okay.
Any questions? There's a question there from the gentleman at the back. Any other question in the meantime?
Okay. Ke Tebogo Ngomezulu. I just want clarity to understand because as I've been going through the magazine, I've seen the Sanral has gone into a task of engaging, maybe meeting us halfway as SMMEs. So I'm asking, in all this project, as I'm not hearing you to say, where would the SMMEs participate? Because if we are to tender for this project, as I'm grade 1, and I'm also an SMME, I cannot be able to tender for such a big project. But as I read through the magazine, it states that Sanral has gone into a task of changing the historical disadvantaged people to make them participate in all these big projects. So if I were to code or maybe to tender, as I'm grade 1, but the paper would not allow me, as it would require me to fill some things of which my company does not have. So I want to know, as SMMEs, as in grade 1s, how do we get a chance to say we would tender for those?
No, thank you. You want me to take it? Okay. No, that's fine. No, look, I went to the slide, in terms of the packages that we anticipate that the SMMEs are going to benefit from. They're outlined there. But I think your question is it's more on the tendering process, which I'm quite happy that we've come very early. We sometimes feel it's a little bit premature, but when we get a question like that, we then say, okay, maybe it's needed. Because like we've alluded, we are going to probably start with the constructions around, my ones in particular, around next year, August. So you have got a full year to try and, get your documents in order. I'm not going to talk for CIDB because there are more. I think there is a gentleman from CIDB here who's still going to make a presentation. So he's going to be the one who will take you through the process on what you need to do, the documentations and so forth, to be able to qualify on the requirements that we have. Our requirements come from CIDB for the subcontractors. Is there anyone who wants to add? Okay, I thought, I hope I was a little bit clear on that. I'm still confused, yeah?
So from the project value, 30% will go to local subcontractors. Okay, so when we talk about local subcontractors, and like I said, the 30% is further broken down. So, for example, and again, like I said, the tender documents are not done, but generally how it works is of the 30%, about 30%, no, about, I think it's 10% or something will go to, 6% will go to CIDB's 1s and 2s only. It's a minimum. Remember, these are all minimum values, So there will be specific packages out there for CIDB's 1s and 2s, ones that will cater for CIDB's 1s and 2s. So we'll go out on tender and then for CIDB's 1s and 2s. And if you are from the local municipality and district municipality, of the project, you will get a higher chance of winning the contract. You get more points for it. To succeed, you get more of an advantage. Okay? And then we will award to that subcontractor, and then they will do the work. So our plan, and as per the magazine, how it says is, by the end of the contract, what we want to do is try and build those CIDBs ones to a higher level, you know. So we'll set up packages to ensure that you will then increase your level by the time we leave. Okay.
Her first language is English, so she can put it better than me. Yeah, no, this is my last presentation. Again, I'm just going to start from the beginning. Yeah, so this is on the R54, which starts from kilometer 0, you know, in Potchefstroom, and goes to the previous, you know, Gauteng. These borders, they move all the time, you know, depending when. So that's why hence the word previous, Northwest Gauteng border. Similar agenda. I won't go into that. The project team is Sanral, SMAC, and Sinfratech. So this is the, you know, this project mainly falls within the JB Max municipality and Merafong city. It is 41 kilometers long, 23 kilometers is in the JB Max area, and then the other 18 kilometers is in Merafong. So this is just an outline of where it starts and ends. So I think even here there have been some wards that have been identified. But I mean, as we get closer to the construction period, we're gonna, you know, sort of, you know, break it down further and be able to split the presentations for the different municipalities. So the scope of works is similar, but I think of particular note, there are some upgrades on the 5 bridges and 4 culverts. We need to widen this road, so it does, you know, affect a lot of the bridges that we have. Yeah, so this is the existing cross-section, which is quite narrow at the moment. As you guys are quite familiar with the road. I mean, it's quite, I mean, even this morning I was traveling a bit, there's quite a number of trucks that are coming here, so I think our interventions is just some of the, you know, conditions of the road, some of the bridges that we're going to be widening. And culverts, sometimes you don't see these things, but they are quite important on the road to convey the water across the road. Proposed solutions similar to the previous project, and I mean this is just an outline of what we are going to be doing on the road, widening what is already existing, just milling and recycling the top 2 layers. So yeah, I mean all of these projects are at a similar stage. So I think we're going to flood you guys, you know, when we come into construction, which I think is a good thing. Then it gives everybody more opportunities. Yeah, I think we've already alluded on the participation of the SMMEs. I'm not going to talk further on it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Letu. Did you do the R30?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, thank you very much. Any questions? Any requests for clarity? The gentleman had raised his hand this side. Any other question? 2. Any other question? Okay, thank you. You can continue.
Okay, question.
You can stand up.
My question is on, last time there was a presentation like this, and most departments and businesses, they don't have the database or something. You must be registered on the database or something like that. So, after some they said 3 years for the database to be open again. So is there something like this, Sanral?
Okay. Do you want to respond to that, or should I take other questions?
No, I can respond.
Okay.
Sanral doesn't have a database. We don't have a database. The only thing that we will have is maybe maybe an expression of interest. Some contractors do want it. So what we do is we'll go out on expression of interest to just see what type of CIDBs do we have in the municipality, so that we can plan on what we're going to subcontract and how many packages and stuff. But there's no database. We go out on advert. Everything is done.
Okay, thank you, Naila. Yes, the second hand.
Morning, good morning. My name is Sepan Samai. I'm the ward councillor in Ward 32. Mine is not a question, it's a request. And my apologies for arriving late if that has been mentioned before. My request would be to request the Sanral to bring the same presentation on the Ventersdorp region for the benefit of the subcontractors in that area. That was my request. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you, Councillor. What we had indicated is that we are looking into replicating the same session towards Ventersdorp. We will firm the days with the municipality and it will be communicated. What we are also going to do, we are going to package the presentations that we are doing today and send them to the municipality, to the office of the executive mayor. There's a gentleman by the name of Mr. Fransman. I don't know as to where SMM is, and the stakeholders knows him. You can just go to the municipality and request Mr. Fransman and request the presentations. I saw the last question there from the gentleman with glasses.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to check the interest of, you said your interest of, express of interest. How do you get about it? And then the second one was about, are we going to be able to get this presentation sent to our emails? That's the two. Thank you.
So the presentations, as Itumeleng mentioned, will be sent to the municipality, so you'll be able to get it from there. Not all contractors go on expression of interest. Some of them do. It depends who wins the contract. But an expression of interest generally is advertised on your newspapers at the municipality, at all the notice boards, so that everyone gets. But like I said, it doesn't mean anything. It's just so that we can get a feel of what's in the municipality. But there isn't one out because we're not in construction as yet. So when it is, I'm sure we'll inform the municipality and the word will get out.
Okay, thank you, Naila. Some of the presentations are big. Some of them has got pictures. We will try to send them though, because I think you've put your name on the register. But the best way is that just go to the municipality, look for Mr. Fransman that is going to assist with the presentation. I saw the gentleman there had raised his hand. Yes, sir.
It's okay. I've answered.
All right, okay. No problem. Thank you very much. Another hand is here, another one that side. Yes, sir.
Morning, colleagues. My name is Mbochane from Mbochane Group of Companies. Now, my question, actually it's not a question, it's a clarity. I need a clarity because my brother here, he said something that I concur with. Last time you were at Trim Park. We attended last time, right, if you remember. And that time, that day, we asked questions, seeking clarity and everything, expecting that but last time the rates between the main contractor, between the main subcontractor. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was via last time when we asked. Between the main subcontractor and us, subcontractors. So that question in even if people they end up going out of the hall to say the rates are between us the main subcontractor. Are you going to fix those rates? More especially for us, for the local subcontractors, because of we mentioned that time for those rates they are killing us. You understand? And I don't believe for Sanral from your side did you correct that. So you're not getting actually. Last time when we at Trim Park, we asked those questions many things, but now, until up to so far, we didn't get any clarity or any answer. There yet, again today we are here, to present a similar presentation to us. You understand? So in go by that clarity moving forward, so that you must know, because when you are the grades, then I so believe that CIDB, but to say now, in terms of your grade 1 to upgrade from grade 1 up to 2, or so forth and so on. That clarity, the amount between the 0 up to which amount from grade 1 to grade 2, 0 amount from which amount from grade 2 to 3, and so forth and so on. I think these ones are very much important to us. I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I see 2 hands at that side as well. Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Vincent Johnson. What I would like to ask from Sanral is, can Sanral be the first company that can help plenty of us here concerning the 30%? None of us knows how does the 30% works. And that is a problem. The other problem again is the wards. People from the wards, they have this thing of when the project happens in their area, they have that entitlement. We need clarity on things like that. It's important because this will help Sanral's project not to have work stoppage. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now my concern is that my brother here just said we had almost a year before all those projects begin. No, I would like to know the requirement. They must give us the requirement maybe earlier, 6 months or 4 months before the project begins, so that we should know what is required and what is not required. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Maybe before I give to project management team to respond to some of the questions, I've noted that there were questions that were asked regarding the rates. The gentleman there had requested clarity regarding the rates. The other one has to do with 30%, a full explanation about 30%. The other one had talked to work packages, the last one about the requirements. As Naila perhaps had indicated as well, is that we are still going to come here in a municipality and zoom and focus to SMMEs to say these are the packages that are going to be provided. These are laborers that are going to be sourced. We are going to come and go into details. But let me, in the meantime, hand over to them to respond to those questions.
No, thanks. Look, I was not part of the initial presentation by Sanral in terms of the rates, so I can't speak to that. But what I know is we've now, there's a, this whole 30%, there's a T1000 that has been developed in trying to be able to explain this, in trying to explain how it works and how we can get the SMMEs involved. But one of the interventions that has happened is that there is a rate on the pricing schedule that is fluctuating. We call it fluctuating rate between the main contract and the SMME, because we have recognized the fact that some of the, it's basically targeted for the grade 1s and 2. We've recognized the fact that a lot of the grade 1s and 2s rates are coming a little bit higher than the main contract. So what we've done, we've then provided that item to be able to deal with that fluctuation, the difference of the tendering from the main contractor and the grade 1s. Yeah, this is the new, I think that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure in terms of when the presentation was done, but I'm saying one of my projects that I know I have that has started now, he's got that item to cater for that. So I suppose going forward, we are going to have, we have that rate to deal with those kind of issues. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. Look, we do get a lot of challenges in the interpretation of the participation of the SMMEs, with the issue of local. Sanral is a national entity. Local to us is local, is not ward-based. We do know that these kind of issues do come, and we are guided by the legislation, but of course we do consult the municipality on how, in them helping us convey the message that we don't necessarily work on ward base. In terms of the laborers, we do then say, look, maybe the preference should be on the ward, but for the SMMEs, it is a local, which is the local municipality. Thank you. Yeah. No, look, we do have, this is taking Sanral to the people. We have an information session, which is more project specific. That comes with what Naila was indicated earlier, where we come with figures and numbers to say, look, for the guardrails, we've got 20 million as a budget. We anticipate that grade 1, 2, and 3 will participate in that type of activity. So we're going to come back and unpack that. Again, I suppose, in the same hall. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Leto. I don't see any hands. No one is clapping as well. Okay, I see 2 hands from the 2 gentlemen there at the back. 3, in fact. Yes, let me start with you, sir.
My question is not being answered. And this is what happens most of the time. Companies don't want to give us the clue how does the 30% works. And then for me, what I'm seeing here is for the first time I attend such a professional briefing. So I believe I'm dealing with professional people here. So why companies every time tend to dodge this 30%? Because to plenty of us here, it's a problem. It creates entitlement. And then we as black people, we need to start, I don't know how to put it, man. If this lady here, we beat it together and she becomes a lucky one to get the subcontract, let me be happy for her. Let me not try to come with things stopping the project because I didn't get a piece of the pie. Your chance will come. Can Sanral be the first company to teach us about this 30%? I think this is my last question, because there's the most important that I came for, and the procedure that needs to be followed concerning this project. I know them, and after being answered, I will have to excuse myself. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go into detail with the 30% and how I explain it when we do have issues. Okay, so it's going to be as clear as I can possibly make it. So 30%, when the president announced it, we said that local is South Africa. That's what had happened, okay? But then as Sanral, we said, you can't have local as South Africa. We are not going to win that way. So we spoke to National Treasury in trying to sort this thing out. And because we can't use eligibility to determine or use it as a local criteria, we use it in functionality. So functionality is the number of points you get for being local. So you have to meet a minimum threshold of 70% or 75%. That will be on the advert, okay? You get about, I think it's 60%, 60 points for being local. And local, when we classify it, is a local municipality. If you are in a local municipality, it doesn't matter. So for example, in this municipality, Ventersdorp is part of the local municipality. If the project is in Potch, Ventersdorp is part of the local, you will both get 60 points, okay? And then if you're part of the district municipality, you will only get 45 points, okay? So you'll get less than being part of a local municipality. And then anything after the province, you get 0 points. In that way, we're trying to maximize the opportunities for local being the local municipality, okay? And then if you meet the 70%, and then you get 5 points for being, I think, woman or youth, you get an additional 5 points for that, and then your CIDB grading is where you get the remaining points, okay? So if we wanted a CIDB 1 and 2, if you form part of that, if you're from the local municipality, you already pass functionality. Then it will only depend on your price and your preference, your BE level and your price of what you tendered. That's what finally determines who wins it, okay? So that's how the 30% works. Now 30%, when we say 30% local, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be only guardrails or a package. It can be supply, it can be transport of material, it can be like you said, building shoulders, doing slurry work. Then if it's a supplier, you don't even need a CIDB grading, okay? It depends, supplier-based contracts don't have CIDB. But when it comes to slurry work, you will need a CIDB grading. So the 30% of local, or when we say subcontracting, 30% is anything. It's not just packages, okay? It can be, like I said, supplier. I hope that answers you. So local, 30% would mean local municipality, but generally a district, anyone in the district has a chance. That's how it works out. You have a chance, not a high chance from the district, but you have a chance. Local, you will get it. So at the end of the day, yes, we do see stoppages as Sanral, a lot of them, because a lot of locals don't understand that Ventersdorp or the town next door is also part of the local municipality, and I can't change that. And at the end of the day, I understand what you mean, but that's the rules, that's the regulations. We can't go against it, or we will get an audit finding. So if that at the end of the day is the winning tenderer, we have to award to that person if they've met the functionality and they've met the eligibility criteria. Did I answer it clearly?
No, Mimi, but I don't want any dialogue. Let me give others a chance. You couldn't do it. I wanted you to go to the financial aspect of it. Like for instance, let's say the project is 10 million. Majority of us here, we tend to say that the 10 million, 30% of the 10 million belongs to us. Project there, laba itse mo lona gore English is the first. Wa gona go bua Setswana mo. O bua Setswana, sa tshaba go bua. You must talk. Wa gona go bua mo Setswana. Ba ka le tolokela ba ba sa kgone go etsa. Nna ke yone that part, that's the part that I wanted you ma'am to concentrate on and teach these ones who likes to stop projects that doesn't mean when the project is worth 10 million, 30% of the 30 million belongs to the locals. That's the one that I wanted you to teach us about. How does it works? Thank you.
No, look, thanks. Look, I acknowledge that perhaps maybe we talk a little bit faster. I think I tried to make that example, in my presentations to say, if we have a 1 billion rand, I even mentioned the fact that, if we have a 1 billion rand project, then the 30% of that would be 300 million. So that's the 300 million that would then be distributed, with the packages that we've identified for the SMMEs. And the process that Naila has just explained is the process that is followed. But I think what you then want to maybe emphasize is the fact that we have to follow, even for SMMEs, we have to follow a tendering system. It's at the moment, unless maybe some of you guys can come up with a better solution. At the moment, the tendering system is being viewed in South Africa, not just Sanral, as a fair process. our responsibility as Sanral, and in particular project managers, is to ensure that the process is fair and is transparent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Letu. I saw two hands from the two gentlemen there at the back.
Dumelang. Last year, Sanral Italy, last year December, batlile ba tlo bua ka yone the stenya the project. So then after like early this year, mega roads ebe etla e bua hore like ba batla go etsa something like database e lo like the local contractors e batla tsena mo go yone. Then by file closing date. Then baba bitsa di contractors gape after then ba tlo bua ka yone the thing ya go etsa bo di starts bo di road marks bo di eng. So then the contractors di le di etsa yalo ba ile ba submit. Then baba bua gore ba bangwe ba ile ga ba yo mo database ha ba tlo ba le the chance ya gore like ba tsene mo go yone project ya teng. So gona no ga utlwa gore like gona any database e le gore like ya create from Sanral or maybe from tsone di companies e le gore like di tlo gona se lo busy ka yone project ya Sanral e lo itlo go appointiwa gona no. So now yone mega roads contract I think I believe for like FAD gona no. So Sanral e buile gape mo go rona but like the same story ya di projects e lo di tlo gonna teng. So now what tla tlhaloganya gore like tse lo gore like mega roads ile ya di appoint di contractors from local ke tsefeng. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Kanako ya mega roads, I think later Linda staying. And Naila, I think, had explained that Sanral does not have a database. I think it's a method that we can request clarity on, so that when we come the second round, we can be able to respond to that. I don't know as to whether project management team would want to expand on that. Letu Naila, Tabang. Oh, okay. The question is that during the mega roads, when mega roads was here, they had created a database, and I think SMMEs were sourced using that database. The question is that what happened to those people that were sourced during mega roads time? Is that the question? Okay, Maru, hape o indicate-ile hore project ya mega roads e fedile. Agere. On the battle month to month. Okay, we will give to a lady here to perhaps assist.
Dumelang baagi. Ke Matshidiso Modise, project liaison officer ya mo JB Max. Bagolo ke kopa go araba potso ya gago papa ya mega roads. Mega roads ke the main contractor for road markings. So o right ha o re Sanral ya re ha ena database but mega roads ha ine e tla mo rona ine e bua ka database. The main contractor ile ya kopana di municipality gore ba dire tsela ya go ka go ka kreya di SMME ba di thuse go ya ka di grading tsa bone gore go ka apply ba ka nna le di-document tse di feng le tse feng tse di complyang. So mo databaseng eo ba ne ba e dirisa ke yone e ba ne ba re ba ka thusa gore ba kgone go kenya di-SMME gore ba kgone go ba bontsha gore ba ka ba thusa yang for go comply. A ke itse ke go arabile, but Sanral yone ha ena database, e nnile teng mo Mega Road as the main contract. A ke itse ke go arabile.
Okay, it's fine. It's not about it, dialogue.
Okay. Ke bone the last hand mole if is a little then get sent to Gomorau. Okay. Maybe re get sent to Gomorau then get mo pele re khona go the next presentation. Re get se Gomorau then get tla mo wena ntate. Thank you.
No, mine is to ask Kibona, there are 4 projects that I mentioned, N12, N14, R30, R52, R54, sorry. R501 I present to you. Is it still going to come? Okay.
It is coming. Let's go le Gomorau.
The other thing I get clarity is this thing. We are living in an age where there's an information blockade, whereby information is not given to the community entirely for them to be informed of what is happening. We usually see the project already decided in Mona, and then when we go to them and then try to ask them questions about what is happening with the project and how that this project going to operate and all these things. And every time when we get to the site, those people, they do not have much information as to what is going on, because we end up strike because we seeing them you don't have any answers for our questions, but yet you are here. Like Noyana, we are having this sitting, it's more than 50 people, but when we are going to a briefing, there are less people than what we are having this number. So this thing is continuously giving us problems because of information I feel more as it is. Or maybe if information it belongs to those who are elites. Baba says Baba Lebatona mo projecting and stuff at the level like Nuyana. As I'm sitting here, not all of us run the digital phones. And I can see but Baba do the motoko ba setse ba tsene mo gare ga website ya nto ya Sanral office 90 gig. So so information botlhokwa. So how does Sanral is going to improve in making sure the community at large would know the project is coming in 3 weeks' time and people must be ready, and also these are the papers and what is needed to be submitted so that you can have full participation in the project. Information, how can you are going to communicate it?
Okay, no, thank you very much. Maybe I get to make a little story. Sandra Lena about 4 important pillars. And I further explain, or amongst the pillar, Sandra, stakeholder relations. And it means for Sandra is aiming itself to engage members of the community. That is why when I also opened, I said, moreover from this session, we're still going to come and do an information session to empower communities, so that in the same vein as the others will be going on our website, you can also maybe get the very same information without being worrying to be superseded by others.
Thanks, Sehone. Comrade Vincent ba correct man. Ke hela di SMMEs. Go diriswa di language tsa sekgowa tse di dirisa mo go khawata 30%. some of us are aware gore 30%. Go tsamaiwa ka yone, the main contractor tsamaya gape ka yone. The SMMEs don't benefit from that 30%. You'll get peanuts. Out of the 30% of project, go take the billion, it's on to the bonam. See the question. We're now what's 30,000 in the 30%. Berote Rikuka the SMME is bad. But anyhow, I was not there. Mine is this one. The main contractor lasted previously. I'm talking now at JB Max. I get it was fair. And then give one another pharmacy what the SMMEs, because they were the ones contracted by Sanral. Now, my question is clarity, because now they have got their own RFQs. Jeffrey, maybe I have a presentation. He can assist us on this one. When you are in one, whether it's CIDB, when you are in CE or GB, whatever, but when you are in level 1, we know you can't exceed 500,000. And then you'll be bidding with or you don't exceed 500,000. But now, after bidding, you'll be told, check the RFQ, check how far is those RFQs. But Norman, RFQ leadership, it's amazing. You are the lowest or number 2. The mistake that you did is you didn't charge us VAT. Now, you must understand, the ones and the ones here, most of them, the ones who are here, we don't register for VAT. We register tax. And then, if I'm bidding at my RFQ, I can't charge the main contractor VAT because I'm not VAT registered. So somewhere related because now, the main contractor, you must understand, Sanral VAT. Because it's VAT registered. And I'm not VAT registered. But when I'm bidding, I watch VAT. To say, man, as I believe.
Okay, thank you very much. And that Jeffrey are had a presentation, clarify your questions, your concerns. His presentations. Negena hano re tleberesele go R51 project, but I think matsogo ke a mangata ke tla tsala ha then ka tsala nta go morao kwa le go morao rao kwa
ke leboga ne ke sa batla gore le mafoko a gage ke aka I'm having the same concern ya gore Sanral it want to develop or promote SMMEs, but when you give a contract to the main contractor come up with his own belief or his own plan, how he's going to run his project. So my concern is, as you give him, you're speaking about the 30%, and then the contractor get the work. After that, if he has to come to us and give that 30%, that's where the problem starts. The same thing that happened that we tender for that, so that in the main contractor, we never even had answers. We were never even told who got a job, who didn't get a job. So my concern is that please work with us this road. If you give a contractor a work, be there to monitor. Because I mean, if it's my money, you give me my work, you give me contract. It's my money, I'm gonna do what I like. But and then who I'm supposed to account to. If there's no accountability, then there will always be these problems. So we, as you come in here to us and wanted, we really appreciate it. You want to help us, but please work with the contractor and try to explain so that the fairness must always be there. Thank you.
Itumeleng asked me to explain to you the CPG, so I'm going to do that. So when we award to the main contractor, during 3 months, we award to the main contractor, he has 3 months mobilization. Mobilization is where we come in. They must speak to the subcontractors, get the local laborers, get the first round of subcontractors, etc. And one of the things is to get a CPG plan approved. What is a CPG plan? A CPG plan says, if your contract was awarded at 100 million, okay? 30% of that must go to SMMEs. But like I said, that 30% is then further broken down. How many percent must go to CIDB 1s and 2s? How many must go to 3s and 4s? How many must go to military veterans, disabled, women, youth? That's how it is, okay? So the main contractor will come to us and say, 5 packages worth, I don't know, 10 million will go to women. That is what we're going to put aside to them. And then 5 packages will go to youth worth 10 million, and that's how we'll put it. And then all of those packages must be added up and must equal to the 30% that you are referring to, okay? So of the 100 million, the 30 million is shown at the bottom and how it's going to be split up. Women, youth, military, veterans, whatever it is, okay? And then we look at it, we say we agree or we disagree, and we sign the CPG plan off. Okay? And then, but it does become a bit complicated in the sense that our contract says it's based on the final contract value. So even though we awarded to the main contractor at 100 million, it might not come up to that. They might have a saving or they might overspend. If they overspend, it's more that they must add on the CPG. If they underspend, it's less on the CPG. But either way, you get the point, right? That's in the beginning. That's the first 3 months. One of the first things you need to do is submit a CPG plan to Sanral, okay? We approve it. Every single month, we will discuss the CPG plan, okay? If you are underspending, if you don't have enough subcontractors, and we'll ask the contractor, why are you not meeting your targets? Are you going to meet your targets? What are you putting in place to meet the targets? At the end of the contract, if they do not meet the targets, there is a penalty on the main contractor for each sub-target. If you don't meet women, if you don't meet youth, if you don't meet subcontracting 30% as a whole, there is a penalty that you will pay. So from your own money, from your contract, even though you did the work, you will not get the money for it. So it does get checked every month by the project manager. It is being discussed in all our meetings. The 30% is divided, like I said, in that way, and it does get approved. So there is something in place for it, and they do get penalized if they don't meet it. So there is something in place to penalize them. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Naila. I think the gentleman is okay. Are we talking about the same thing, CPG plans? Let me take the gentleman there at the back. Maybe.
No, he wants to show a CPG plan.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Just a minute.
This project. This is not the projects here. It's an example on one of the projects that we are currently busy with. Don't look at the. I think we quite understand that maybe perhaps the issue is the numbers. So we're going to try and give you a live example on a project that we are currently busy with in some of the provinces, different provinces. Can you just zoom it? Zoom it. Let me do that clear. Yeah, don't take, it's a different. Okay. Yeah, look, I think we just wanted to maybe give a little bit of clarity on the CPG plan. So this is the outline of the, I mean, we've got a category there, the different category, which is a targeted labor, 6%. Now that's the 6% of the particular project. That project was 179 million. Then the target was 30%, and then obviously the TE targeted to 53. So that 53 million is the 30% of 179. So this is the breakdown of what this contractor needs to achieve, and what Naila is talking to, that these are if he doesn't achieve all of this, he then gets penalized. So these are the I think this thing is dead. Is it? Yeah. So these are the, I mean, we've got targeted labor. We've split it youth, women, disabled, and so forth. Then these are the percentages Now, those are the figures, those are the numbers, that we need to then achieve, to get to the 6%. This is, the further breakdown, youth, women, military, veterans, disabled, CIDP, yes, on this particular one, because it's more of a resale job, it's 2% for CIDP 1, but it still amounts to around 11 million. This is the target. This side is the target from the document. This is what we're expecting to achieve. For example, on the side, when the market analysis was done to go and see how much of the CITPs are in the area, we then found out that there's a lot of CITP 1 and 2. We then said, okay, we'll be able to achieve more than the 2%. We'll be able to achieve 6.3%. It worked out to 11.2 million. For the 3s and 4s, there were less 3s and 4s, but we still were above the 2%. Then we said, okay, we're going to be able to spend 7.5 million and so forth. Can you just maybe go further and see if there's more to explain? Yeah, no, it's basically now breaking down. So that was the the labor component and the grade 1s and everything. So what is here now? Go back a bit. What is hang on. What is here a bit? Now we've broken down those subcontractors, stockpile, activity clearing and grabbing, culverts and everything, NME, EME, then the procurement CIDP grading, the packages. These are the different. We then say, okay, for the black youth, black women, we're going to spend, that's 5, that's 4, military veterans and so forth. So that's now breaking down that 11 million that we've identified initially for the CITPs 1 and 2. So this is what is going to be presented. We call it an information session as we get closer to the construction period. So I think that's probably what you guys were looking for.
Okay, thank you, Letu. Maybe let me take the gentleman there at the back with a cap.
Lebitso la ka ke Mothusimang Wax Mwandi. Ke moemedi wa Potchefstroom Minister Fraternal Minister Fraternal. Ke kopa tshwarelo go fitla lata. Ke ne ke tsitsinya fela ke suggesta fela dilonyana tse dintse mmalwanyana, especially mo tabeng ya communication. Ki nagane gore a Sanral a etsa communication ya ka di meeting e communicate le our local radio station e leng Aganang, and then is information go Herald newspaper is free of charge, and then ba kwale le makwalo na go go di kerekeng ke go bongata ba batho ba tsamayang teng, different people, bana basha, information a gonana e fitlhelele gape le mo di kerekeng. And then ke ne ke itsisi hela ba Sanral gore ka di 24 beke tlang la bobedi mokgatlo wa baruti wa tlhoko Minister Fraternal o na le project ya go rapedisa dikotsi tsa ditsela ka di 24 tsa September dingwe le dingwe. Ra bona dikotsi tsa ditsela di a re ama bagetso, re bone re latlhegelwa ke batho ba go Botswana ba le 45, re bone bana ba sekolo go Foxville ba tlhokafala ke dikotsi tsa ditsela, re bone le go Mpumalanga. Ke a leboga, ke ne ke tsitsinya fela dilo tsa gona yana, ke bitse ka mokete wa Artlopo mo Potchefstroom. Ke a leboga.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Ke re lebogela dititsinyo. Ke bone my colleague o dilang ka marketing and communications at the note, especially as it relates to communicating our programs through media. Ke tlotsa le tsogo la bofelo then re go R501. Thank you.
Ma'am, you are coming right now. Thanks for that. Gentlemen, according to me, the CPG plan, it's similar to the PLA plan. The PLA plan is the one that we used when we were building the Medupi power station, whereby any employment, first you look at local, then you come with the semi-skilled, the skilled ones, just like that. Now, that time, at the Midupi power station, they didn't have. I'm about to finish.
Okay, all right.
I'm about to finish, my brother.
Okay.
I'm about to finish.
All right.
Now, my question heads back to OPA. When it comes to the involvement of Sanral in this kind of a project. Like the gentleman right now, you just gave us, how does it work? How are you guys going to penalize the contractor? Because most of these contractors, to be honest, you will find there is no woman who is working on that company. There is no someone ranking is on a wheelchair who tends to be given a chance. So it will be important that where this project is going to happen, there has to be a representative who tends to represent such people. Like me, that time, I'm the one who helped to amend that PLA. You get the point? So, Mami, I think you are with us. Please help our people. Let's see that this upcoming project, a gentleman like here with a wheelchair will be given a chance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nora Leboga. Ke kopa proposal. Are in presentation R501. Then ke tlo nota letso hala wa fetsa presentation ke bone go ka mabedi, then we take it from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning all. It's Rogisan Morava. I'm from the consultant. We are designing the R501, which is from Poch to Carltonville. Is starting after the spa there, all the way to Carltonville. I will start with the introduction. The client is Sanral. As you can see there, the contract is the R541 Section 3, 2019, and it's the upgrade of R541 from Poch, like I said, from kilometer 3.9 to Carltonville at kilometer 52.4. The total length of the road, which is going to be upgraded, is 48.5 kilometers. The project personnel, Tony, who requested me to do the presentation today, who works for Sanral, is not here today, is the project manager. And then the municipalities which are affected is 2 local municipalities and 2 district municipalities, and the project also affects 2 provinces. The local municipalities are Mirafong, which is in the West Rand district in Gauteng, and then the JB Max local municipality, which is the one that we are in today, which is within the Kenneth Kaunda district municipality, and is in the Northwest province. So, like I said, the project is 48.5 kilometers. Almost 30 kilometers of that 45 is within the current municipality. That's the locality map of the project. Like I said, we're starting just after Carltonville, all the way to the, we're starting outside Poch, all the way to Carltonville. We're terminating where the road become the 4-lane. Okay, I have already mentioned that the consultant is Urban Icon. The scope of the service It was a project assessment which is completed already, investigation for design, development, as well as investigation for pavement and materials is completed. And then we completed the concept design and preliminary design. We are busy with the finalizing the detailed design, which we are going to submit to Sanral before month end. After that, we'll do the tender documentation to appoint the contractor, followed by admin and monitoring on site. So the proposed scope, like I said, the project is an upgrade. So we're upgrading the current road, which is very narrow, as you are aware. It's currently 7 meter wide. So we're going to upgrade the cross section to 13.4. That will be 2 lanes as well as the 3 meter surface shoulders. Also included in the scope of work is 2 railway bridges, which we are going to widen them. And we're going to replace the major culverts structures with the new structures. The pavement is going to be strengthened as well, and also the road signs and all is going to be replaced. Detailed design, the stage that we are currently on, is an extensive work that we did to upgrade the alignment of the road to make it safe. There are a couple of curves that we upgraded them so that they achieve the design speed. Okay. This is the cross-section. Late to have showed you the cross-section in his projects. I won't dwell much on it. And then the cost estimate for the project. The client, which is Sanral, requested us that we try the new technology to build the pavement. So when we go out on tender, we're gonna have 2 BOQs. The first option in the BOQ will be to use the new technology, which is the nanotechnology. And our estimate currently, we're sitting at 750 million. Obviously, it can change after we appoint the contractor. I just wanna add on what has been discussed. If you check the Schedule D there, that's where Sanral realized that the main contractors is tendering low on the rates that is going to give the subcontractors. So the new BOQ, it does give that adjustment of the rates as well as the PNGs for the subcontractors to establish themselves on site. So hence you can see we do have the substantial amount at 63 million so far to deal with it. The other option is when we use the granular pavement, our estimate is 822 million. As you can see there, and that will bring my presentation to an end. If you have questions, you can ask, and Late 2 from Sanral will assist me with the answers that I don't have.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Maybe let me take the gentleman that had raised his hand before.
Dumelang gape. Mine is not based on the slides and the presentation. I meant to ask this question earlier. The issue is more e dirang tlhakatlhakanyo. Sanral is e faila go dira monitoring and evaluation, the consequence management to its subcontractors or the contractors tsa yone. Sanral is a client if I via a contract, via if I Mega Road 2 as a main subcontractor. Mega Road 2 on the ground, in neglecta the laborers, they underpay INT PPE at Kanako. So it shows how Sanral is not making justice go the laborers in because of as the client, they must monitor how the contractor, Elimvia, or fang subcontractor, Elim Mega Roads or Udirisa, and or acknowledge the requirement that it's willing as Sanral into the contract. So, what are the mechanisms? Sanral as consequence management to not the subcontractor only, but the main subcontractor. What are the mechanisms?
Okay, no, thank you very much. Maybe let me take that hand before we go to the next presentation. Then I'll give to the gentleman who had just presented here, as well as Taban to respond to your question.
Good day, people. I just like to ask people, I just like to ask Salam. I did finish school 2021, and so now I'm still sitting here with my degrees and my diploma, and I just like to ask people if any one of you all can just let us, those people who are just not working today, why we are sitting now for today, because we also need some work to do. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. I'll request you to repeat your question, but let me take you, then we will respond.
Dumelang, ke Karabo Malgasi. Ne ke kopa go botsa ka gore ntse ke bona di presentation tse di feta gona le presentation e ke sa itse maybe le included. There's this thinking routine road maintenance. Aka utlwa go buiwa next ka yone, and I believe gore like play a party into go godisa di small business gore di itlhele to di grading tse ding go a godimo. And also ne ke batla go botsa ka keng potentially emerging status. Sanral e etseng to agree potentially emerging status e dumela gore like re apply le mesebetsi e maybe one grade higher than e re le mo go yone. So ne re batla go itse gore Sanral e etsa eng go bona gore like potentially emerging ya invokiwa mole le mole. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much. We have a gentleman that is going to do a presentation that will talk to routine road maintenance immediately after the presentation from CIDB. Can I request you to repeat your question? The gentleman with a yellow T-shirt. Oh, he's saying it's fine. Okay, thanks. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, look, I missed some of the questions, but I want to respond to the monitoring part. If you'll help me, Tumuleng, if I didn't understand it properly. I think you are asking whether the subcontractor of a subcontract, ne? That's my understanding. The subcontractor was Major Roads, and then there was a SMME that was working for them. So are you then asking, is there an issue? There's an issue between those two, right? What I can tell you is that when there are issues of SMMEs and contract, there is a Sanral hotline. There is mechanisms that you can report if there are issues, if maybe you feel a little bit disheartened in terms of maybe there's a lack of agreement, non-payment, and so forth and so forth. There are mechanisms that are in place where subcontractor can report to Sanral. Then Sanral will try and intervene in between the two parties. But the issue, again, I mean, if these CPGs are not achieved, Naila did outline the fact that we have penalties in place that we can, it's quite hefty penalties on the main contract. But I think the challenge that maybe we're having with the question from major roads and so forth is that the project manager is specifically not here. So that is a project specific question, and we don't necessarily have all the information on what transpired between those two. But what I can tell you is that there are mechanisms we can report. I've had it on my project. I've played a role in intervening between those two parties. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Letu. Maybe let's take a presentation from CIDB before Reako ya route and road maintenance.
Morning, guys. Dumelang bagolo, afternoon, in fact, after 12. Leina ke Jeffrey Mokhatla, ke tlhaga ke le go CIDB. Thank you. Bagolo, kopa go starta ke address some of the concerns. Ne? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Bagolo, ke kopa go address some of the concerns ne. Tse ke naganang gore as CIDB we can respond to. My response, Bagolo, is not what CIDB says. It's what the law says. Ne? So ke tlo go bua molao fela nna. As ke o tlhaloganya ke le Jeffrey Mokhatla from CIDB. So if se ke se buang is not in line le se le sitsing le tla intshwarela bagolo. Nna ke bua molao ga ke bue se CIDB e se buang. Before ke starta ka presentation ya CIDB. For now, ke bua molao and address some of your concerns. Okay. I can start there now. The issue of 30% is not applicable anymore. We don't have any 30% about. 30% was on the triple PFA regulations 2017. They have been outlawed. Because we have new regulations, triple PFA 2022. The new regulations, 2022, they don't talk about any 30%. So Kanya 30% is not applicable anymore. Kasi issue is CIDB baholo, kaya Kanya mola. So hala o mana lesa o manyan, kempa fela ki interpreta mola. Lingutu lagi baholo. Thank you. The issue of it, the figures, it's about 500,000, 1 million, it's a CIDB. Those figures are VAT inclusive. All those figures, they are VAT inclusive. So if only grade 1, also a VAT vendor, or a quota, you don't have to include any VAT amount because you are not VAT registered. But all the figures that have CIDB, how they as a contractor, a grade 1 must not exceed 500,000. That 500,000, it's including VAT. Are we talking? Lucian. All right. Selection criteria, the preference points. It is up to the client to set for a advertiser a tender. What preference points are they going to use? They might say, we want
A woman-owned entity, they have 5 points. A local entity, they have 10 points. Black, they offer 10 points. It's up to the client. So, ke di client ba determine gore the preference points ke tse fetserang go di dirisa rona re le JB Max Municipality. So, to advantage local contractors, the clients must provide the preference points to local SMMEs. But that does not exclude contractors to bid for that opportunity. I agree, this is a free country. As JB Max contractors, you have the right to whatever we go Cape Town of the apply any tender that you are interested in. It's your right. Similarly, you don't have to stop any contractor at JB Max to implement any project if appointed. But it is up to the client. It is up to JB Max, to say, local contractors, we are going to give you points. So that when they start to compete with other contractors, at least the local contractors, they feel the points. It's any time is an kohodimo, how they start to compare. The PE status. I think like we're spot on. There's nothing for me to say concerning the PE status. But that PE status must be activated by the clients. It is up to the clients or have advertise a project. They must say, we want a 5 GB and 4 GB PE. They are also qualified for this particular project. If Haba advertiser in such a way, you won't be able to qualify for it. So Sanral, if they want to consider lower level contractors, they have to advertise that on their advert. To say this project take 5, but 4 they qualify to implement it. Unfortunately, as CIDB, we can't say JB Max or Sanral. Make sure this project you also advertise for PE. It's up to them. Or not pay the fellow PC status, a PE status as an empowerment tool to lower level contractors to say, this is how we think lower contractors can be developed. But the implementation, it always rests with deadlines. Lastly, Tabaya entitlement. The Constitution of South Africa, it says procurement must be Section 2171 of the Constitution of South Africa. It says procurement must be free, fair, transparent, equitable, competitive. So it does not exclude anyone from competing for any government-related procurement opportunity. So issue entitlement is not applicable. Ha hona hore project ena ke ya JB Max. It doesn't work that way. Again, ha se khanya CIDB ke molao nna ke bua le molao ba go le sankoma. Ha hona hore this project ke ya JB Max. This project can only be implemented by contractors mo JB Max, no. Molao ga o rialo. Each and every project, as South African, you have the right to apply for it. Hence, you have the right to also if I Cape Town of the this project I'm interested in, I can do it, can I apply? So, I entitlement. All right, we can go to my presentation maybe before, through you, Chair, before ke tla ka presentation yaka, is there anyone who wants to? Is that fine, Chair? Or keep presentation? Okay, all right. Yeah, Khatik is a presentation, and then, yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, oh. Okay, yeah. Bagaetsho, that is the overview of my presentation. The CIDB Act, the support services that we provide, who should register, the CIDB Register of Contractors, the tender value threshold, upgrading subcontracting, online registration. We are governed by the CIDB Act 38 of 2000. We are a Schedule 3A public entity. We report to the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. I can't get Minister Roman Chauna wa GNU baholo. Ke mangan. Yeah, I didn't like it. Okay. Yeah, we were established to promote a construction regulatory and development framework that builds construction delivery capability. A proudly South African construction industry that delivers to globally competitive standards. Our role as the CIDB is to regulate the construction industry. Each and everything in terms of public procurement that has to do with construction, it's being regulated by the CIDB. The tenders it's us as the CIDB who regulates them. We are the ones who determines, or this is the kind of wording that should be used how the clients advertise those particular tenders. So everything that has to do with public construction procurement, it has been regulated by the CIDB. That is basically our role. I'm sure we don't issue our tenders here. As CIDB haven't seen the tender, but we regulate how tenders are being advertised. Okay. The services that we provide contractor registration. We have an online registration that we do. Grade ones, they are no longer need to come to the CIDB office. They can just do an online registration, which gets approved immediately. If you have all necessary documents, it gets processed immediately. We also do upgrades. We also provide help desk support in terms of any information in the construction industry that you might need, that the client might need. We are in the position to can provide that particular information. We facilitate training to contractors, but we facilitate training to contractors that are appointed in contractor development programs. As an individual contractor, or CIDB training 1, 2, 3. But if there's a contractor development program, implement to a client, appointed 10 or 20 contractors, we are in the position to can facilitate the training of those contractors as appointed in the contractor development program. We assist the clients on how to develop or implement contractor development programs, the EPWP, that's how they call it. We are in the position to can assist the clients on how to do that. We also support clients, departments, in terms of procurement and delivery management and industry performance indicators. Industry performance indicators, because as the CIDB, we have a database of all registered contractors from grade 1 to 9. And the clients, they also advertise on the CIDB register of contractors their procurement opportunities. So we are in the position to can give them statistics to say, what JB marks, we've got such a number of contractors from grade 1 to 9. These are the opportunities that are there in the area. So as the CIDB, we are in that position to can provide those statistics
to the clients, to contractors, whoever needs those kind of statistics. Who must register with the CIDB? Construction companies who have the capability to undertake construction contracts and who wish to tender for public construction contracts. If you are a contractor, you want to do business with government, you have to register with the CIDB. If you are a contractor, you don't want to do business with the government, you do not need to register with CIDB. So basically, currently we regulate public sector construction procurement. Who must not register with the CIDB? Joint ventures. As a joint venture, you don't have to register with CIDB. Company A, high corporate company B, a former joint venture AB, that AB, it does not have to register with CIDB. But individual company A must register with CIDB, individual company B must register with CIDB. But the joint venture itself, company AB as a joint venture, it does not need to register with the CIDB. Contractors who are under registrations for doing business with the public sector, they are being restricted from registering with the CIDB. Home builders, they don't register with the CIDB. And those contractors who provide supply only, they also do not need to register with the CIDB. Canada home builders, they register with NHBRC. And then once you are a contractor, we have different categories. We've got the GB, CE, ME, EB, and EP. So now if you come to the CIDB, you will choose for what to register with on which category, and then register on that category that you have chosen. So we've got different classes, GB, and then we've got the S classes, which is made up of different categories. So it is up to the contractor to say, register, or I'm capable of doing job on this particular area. Obviously, if you register, you must give us those registration documents, your company documents, your ID, certified copy of electrical contractor certificate, if register for your EP, your proof of payment, or your tax clearance PIN. Those are just some of the documents that you require when you register. And the system, because we do online registration, the system, we will have to attach those documents on the system for you to register for the CIDB. I think Baholo Kibuile got the PE status. I guess I will attack yone. And then once you implement any construction-related project, you are in a position to can upgrade to a higher CIDB grading level. That choice, Baholo, it's as a contractor. You are not obliged to upgrade. But if you implemented a project of more than 130,000 in the construction industry, you have a chance, you have an opportunity to upgrade to higher CIDB grading levels. And then once you upgrade, you are going to, as the CIDB, an appointment letter, a completion certificate, payment certificate, and the annual financial statements. The annual financial statement will apply to your grade 3. How I apply like grade 3 to 9. But grade 2, we only want your appointment letter. That's it. And your payment certificate. We don't want your financial statement. For grade 2 only. Grade 3, you can have appointment letter, completion, and the financial statements. Grade 3 to 9. We are also saying JVs and subcontracts. If we enter a JV or sub-owner or sub-dealer, we want that subcontract agreement. We want that JV document. That is the document that we are going to utilize when you want to upgrade to as higher CIDB grading levels. We are also saying all business-related contracts and financial documents of at least 5 years to be utilized for upgrading. As a contractor, if you want to upgrade, or a construction-related project,
appointment letter. But for the financial statements, remember the financial statements of some business, it doesn't matter if it's a construction, it's a catering, it's a security, it doesn't matter. Those are the financial statements of a business. But for upgrading, we want you to have implemented a construction-related project. I hope that along my way. Okay. For you to be able to go to grade 2 to 9, we are going to request that you refer the financial statements. On the financial statements, we do share your available capital, your best annual turnover, and your works capability. Your works capability, your appointment letter, the completion certificate. Okay. The row, the column on the middle, red, it simply says for you to be considered for upgrading, or transfer a project value. For grade 2, transfer a project value of 130,000. For grade 3, 450,000. Grade 4, 900,000. Grade 5, 1.5 million. Grade 9, 90 million. If we upgrade or implement a construction project of that value, it will allow you to upgrade to that particular value. And then, like for grade 2, we don't need financial statements. That is why I go to the best annual turnover is 0, available capital is 0, because we don't want financial statements. But for grade 3 and 4, actually for grade 3 to 9, you must give us financial statements together with the appointment letter and the completion certificate. Grade 3 and 4, on the financial statements, CIDB, either for 3 and 4, annual turnover or available capital. That's for 3 and 4. But for 5 to 9, available capital, best turnover, and the largest contract. So for 5 to 9, 3 and 4, either one of the two. Either available capital or the best annual turnover. But for 2, appointment letter completion. Okay. As lead as a grade 1 contractor, you are allowed or a project value of 500,000, exclusive, inclusive. Sorry. As a grade 5, you are allowed to implement a project value of not more than 10 million, VAT inclusive. As a grade 8, you are allowed to implement a project value of 200 million, VAT inclusive. As a grade 9, you do not have any limit. Those are the current values. That's it. Besides the registration fees, we also, there are other admin fees and annual fees that have been paid by the contractors to the CIDP. Grade 1s, they don't pay any annual fees. Grade 2s, they pay annual fee of 250. Grade 3, 350. Grade 6, 3.5. Grade 9, 55,000. And then the administration fees. But the admin fees, you pay them as and when you do a certain service. You don't have to pay them annually. So those are the annual fees that have been paid for grade 1, 450, grade 2, 450, and the rest is 750. So those are the extra costs that have been paid to the CIDP besides the registration fees. We look at the JVs and subcontracts.
the CIDB website in a later JV calculator. It will tell you the contractor X ke batla go tsena mo JV le contractor Y. It will calculate ga le kopana ya go lefa bokae.